Hi everybody, my name is Emily Gonzalez and this is my informative speech. I just want to apologize beforehand. I'm really sick, so my voice is really scratchy. But I decided to do my informative speech on vaccines and how they're vital to society. So parents should be informed and educated on the truth behind vaccines and how they are a vital aspect to a well-developed and healthy society. By vaccinating children, the risk of an outbreak for a disease is substantially reduced. Schools and amusement parks are really breeding grounds for the spread of disease. Most of the time there's tons of kids at amusement parks, there's tons of kids at schools, and it just takes one kid to get contracted by something like measles and spread it to another kid who spreads it to another kid, spreads it to another kid, and that's what we would call an outbreak. And so schools and amusement parks are really good breeding grounds for infectious diseases because of the close, compacted, enormous numbers. And that's why vaccinations would help reduce the factor and significantly lower the likelihood of an outbreak. When an outbreak is prevented, lives are then saved. As stated by Jeffrey Kluger, for most diseases, vaccinations rates must remain very high, up to 95%, to reach what is known as herd immunity. And this is basically when everybody that's capable of getting a vaccination is vaccinated. That people who can't get vaccines, like babies or the elderly or people with autoimmune systems, this herd immunity helps them not contract the disease. Putting a stop to the risk of outbreaks will also help parents gain peace of mind for their children. This not only helps the parents and school-age children, but also helps protect, as I said before, babies and elderly. As stated by Henley Frazier, current control of infectious diseases relies primarily on antimicrobial compounds or vaccinations. Vaccinating children is not only saving the children from having to contract a painful or uncomfortable disease, but is also saving the lives of those who can't get the vaccination. Many anti-vaccine speakers argue that vaccinating children is pointless because most of the diseases are not deadly to children. And while that may be true, when a healthy school-age child may not die from a disease like measles, babies who can't get vaccinated until they're at least a year old are at a much higher risk of contracting it and will die, most likely. Vaccinating children thus prevents the spread of disease at those at a higher risk for contraction. Individuals who suffer from autoimmune diseases are also unable to receive these vaccinations. Because of this, they rely on everyone else to be vaccinated, or herd immunity, as I spoke of earlier, so that the likelihood of a breakout is substantially reduced. Vaccination has shown no correlation to autism. That's another point that anti-vaccine speakers try and have stated in the past. But this has been debunked numerous times by medical researchers and professionals. So because of this, parents really need to be educated on the truth behind vaccines, because a lot of the time, one of them will go online and read a story where someone thinks that vaccines are correlated to autism, and then this will just spread between everybody else. But the problem is they don't really know how vaccines work, or what they really prevent, or what they're actually doing in the body. So I think that it's important that we educate parents so that they can distinguish fact from fiction and make proper decisions on vaccinating their kids. It's also important that society learns to research and become well-informed about issues and form an educated opinion rather than just following trends or rumors that hold no credible proof. We all know that this is a problem with things like Twitter, WebMD. We all will go online and, kind of make our own decisions about things and spread what we think, and then one person believes it and then everybody believes it, but really there's no credible fact behind this. And I think the key for us to continue to develop as a society is that we become educated on these issues before we form an opinion on it. When people blindly follow rumors and fads without learning the true facts, we're severely damaged as a society. It's easy to follow emotion rather than fact, but by doing that, it's impossible for us to progress, especially in medicine. Vaccinating children is beneficial to society because it helps reduce the risk of an outbreak, saves the lives of those who are at higher risk for disease and are unable to receive vaccinations, and has shown no credible link to autism. Vaccines are necessary, and they're a luxury for us who have access to it. And a lot of the times we take these things for granted, but there are a lot of kids in other countries whose lives would be significantly saved if they had vaccines. So we really need to take advantage of the opportunities that we have in our country. And I really think that education is key to showing everyone the truth behind vaccines. Thank you guys.